Hi guys and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 23, and today I've got a very special video idea to tackle today, and that is to complete 2 long lap penalties with Fermin Aldeguer and try and finish on the podium here in the roller coaster of Portimao. So here we go then, boys and girls, starting from pole position. I do need to time this right because I need to give myself a long lap penalty, and away we go. Look at that. Perfect start there, straight off the line to get ourselves a penalty. Unfortunately, it was us the one penalty, so I will just do the second penalty by myself. We'll just assume I was given 2 long lap penalties. So today's race, we've got a 50% race here with the Moto2 bikes with Fermin Aldeguer as I almost lose a front into turn 3. Oh, what a cracking start that would be. Launch it up onto the right hand side there and absolutely bin it in the very first lap. Now, I am not sure how well this is going to go. I feel confident, and I have done a little bit of practice with the long lap penalty. Did it a couple of times, but the only thing I'm a little bit concerned of is that the first lap, when we do this long lap penalty, the camera angle will change, and it gets a little bit more difficult then to turn in because the camera angle is on a different angle. It's a different perspective. It's a little bit more challenging. So, hopefully, I can get across and complete it and only be around maybe a second or 2 behind Acosta and Arbolino. Hopefully I don't lose too much time. I would say with the Moto2 class you can be quite strong with the power, and even with acceleration of the Moto2 bikes, I think I can catch back up to them without too much hassle. It all depends who's fighting and if we get then caught in a battle behind us. Oh goodness me, Pedro Acosta and Agura's gone down, but we'll talk about that in a minute because we're into the long lap penalty. There is the camera angle, that very subtle change. Moving into the right hand side, beautiful. Not bad. How much time did we lose? 1.6 to Tony Arbolino. Not bad as we go over the inside of Aaron Canet, just using him as a battering ram to get us through the right hand side. But of course, if you didn't know this, the challenge is inspired about real life events from MotoGP at the weekend here in the roller coaster of Portimao. As we get a little bit loose on the brakes there, trying to get up the inside of Philip Salach. Managed to get through, nicely done on the Grassini ride, or at least the CF Moto team, is that it? I can't remember now as what it's called, but anyway, yeah, Fermin Aldeguer did get a penalty, but he didn't finish on the podium, so this is an additional challenge for myself, just to keep things fresh and keep things exciting, because I think if I do the penalty, I can probably get into the top 5. I don't think that would be too much of an issue. But here against 120% difficulty, I still feel we can get right up there with the best of them finish on the podium. Because, I mean, he was only a position away from the podium anyway in real life, so we could aim for 4th place to match what Aldeguer did, but I would rather make that more special and aim for the podium positions. Now, we still have 1 more long lap penalty to do. Of course, the game is not going to register this as an official long lap penalty, but as far as I'm concerned, Fermin had 2, he tackled 2, he finished 4th, we'll tackle 2, we'll aim to finish 3rd. Not a bad idea, is it? Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoy this one. If you do, let me know in the comments section down below, and be sure to subscribe. So there is Tony Arbolino. He's going to break away now as Bo Benschneider goes down behind us, onto the brakes and then into the long lap penalty. No subtle change of camera angle this time, and we have dropped around 2 seconds to Tony Arbolino, so we now find ourselves in 8th place behind Alex Escreech, Sean Dylan Kelly, and I do believe that is Manuel Gonzalez, and if you can believe it, he's in 5th place. I know Manuel Gonzalez very much features in the 5th position, as they always talk about and always make fun of. Anyway, onto the brakes again, into the first corner, trying to go around the outside of Sean Dylan Kelly. That wasn't intentional, as we do run it off the circuit. That will be a little bit of a track limit warning there. Sean Dylan Kelly having a good look behind him to say, what the hell were you doing, as the Screech goes up on the inside into Lagos. Oh, scary moment for the forward man, but I've got to say, what a performance to be in 8th place on board the forward machine. That's no joke. Got to give credit where credit is due for Alex Escreech as we now dive up on the inside of Sean Dylan Kelly, and this is exactly why I felt confident to get a podium with 2 long lap penalties and 120% difficulty AI. For some reason, they are tremendously slow into the Tour VIP. I have a video on my channel, in the career mode no less, where I went round the outside of both Arbolino and Pedro Acosta in that very same corner. And that was simply because the AI just simply aren't quick enough with the Moto 2 machines. But into the right-hander then. Power setting 2 now is going to be used probably for the duration of this race. Now I haven't done a Moto 2 race since probably online with the Aces a couple of weeks ago. It was nothing. Oh, Dylan Kelly's gone down. Sean Dylan Kelly has gone down. SDK has binned it into turn 13. Coincidentally, that is the Pedro Acosta corner almost, because of course he is overtaken so many riders into that 13th corner from both Moto 3 to Moto 2, and he actually managed to bin it in that very same corner. Surprising start here in Portimao. Look at the speed though from the forward bike. There is a Screed trying to get on through, which he almost does, but that lap time 0.9 of a second slower than Tony Arbolino. So oh my god, we're deep again into the Primera corner. Just got to calm down ever so slightly here. Getting a little bit flustered. We don't need to though, we've got plenty of time. I feel like I've given myself enough time at least. 12 laps should be more than enough. Just all depends on how fast we can go. I have a bit of time to use Power Setting 3, which I can use, but I know I can be superior on the brakes here to really close up and get closer towards the Yamaha Master Camp rider, Manuel Gonzalez. Of course, not anymore on that machine. And then onto the right hand side, the Boscoscora moving and twitching and turning as we go into turn 7. Back again on the right hand side, this time for turn 8. Dropping down to first gear. Now I did question whether dropping down to first gear was the right thing to do. Of course, heavily criticised for that in MotoGP when I happened to do it. But here in Moto 2 it feels right. It feels like you're supposed to do that. Again, I'm not entirely sure, but it feels solid. And I think that's probably where my original habit came from, is from the intermediate class here in the Moto 2 category. So onto the brakes then, turn 13. We are closing in on Gonzalez and Alberto Arenas. Ahead of him is Philip Salac as a Screed. Goodness me, this is the last thing I need here. I can't be doing with a rider impeding our progress. This is what I feared. I felt that this could happen, and it is definitely happening now. So this challenge is definitely on. Keeping things fresh here on the channel, trying to do different challenges. If you have any challenge ideas, let me know in the comment section down below. To start from the back of the grid, maybe do a long lap penalty, maybe a ride through penalty. Let me know in the comment section below. So onto the brakes and sliding up the inside of Manuel Gonzalez. Tried to brake there as late as I possibly could, which seems to have paid off quite well for the number 54, who is of course MotoGP bound for next season. What a blessing, what an honour for the young Spaniard. Former Moto E rider, of course, as well. So see what Fermin Aldeguer can do. I think he's going to be the first rider from Moto E to move up to the Premier class, as we now go late to the brakes. And oh, that's a clumsy overtake. I did say earlier that they go so slow into the Tour VIP. I can't tell you why they go so slow, even on the hardest difficulty. But it's easy to get caught up. And I've got to say, if I can get through these, then there's no doubt in my mind that we can hold on to third. Maybe we didn't need this many laps. Maybe I'm going to get the job done and fight for second places with a huge wheelie coming downhill. Just approaching the Craig Jones corner. We're going a little bit wide there. Is Manuel Gonzalez going to make me pay? Not yet. Fermin Aldeguer still very much on it with Salac and Arenas ahead. Now onto the brakes. Just a bit deeper than usual there. So unfortunately, that will cut any drive we had and any possibility of getting onto the rear of Arenas for the long straight. So into 14. This is the Sagres corner now. Onto the straight. And then onto the right hand side. Gonzalez is coming. This is the worst thing that could happen. Do I use Power Setting 3? Yeah, I've got plenty of fuel to burn. Let's get the bike. Oh, what a hit from a Screed. Goodness me, what's got into him today's video? He's absolutely mental. I mean, fair play. I can't fault him for being aggressive and trying to get up the inside. I'm going to be doing the exact same thing to Gonzalez a lap ago. But now here, into lap 6. Beautiful. I might be able to go through on the inside of Arenas. We do, and that is a clean overtake. That's clean. That looked clean, and it felt clean up on the inside. Oh! Oh, God! Alberto Arenas! I said it was clean. There was no need to hit me like that. Tell you what, I'm absolutely going to go for it. Around the outside. Why not let it fly? Sometimes you just got to go for it, and it works out swimmingly. Ah, but Salac is still there. Salac is still very much there. The man with the Revit leathers. He has the inside line. Onto the right-hand side, keep it in tight, and hopefully we can get past him going into the Craig Jones corner. Arenas got a lot of momentum going into the Samsung corner. The former Red Bull KTM IO rider, of course. He has moved on now to which team? I can't remember which team it was. Apologies, I've completely forgotten as it stands. But onto the right hand. Is he on the same bike now as Salach and, well, Gonzalez? I think he is, isn't he? Apologies, my mind's gone absolutely blank in this one as we go into the left-hand side for 13. Salach has ran it deep. He will have the inside line, though, so it's not quite as simple just to go for it. I guess we kind of did anyway. I mean, I didn't really want to go for it right there, but I seen the gap at the last second. So, as I say, got to go for it when you see it. But here, into the right-hander then. Philip Salach just calm on the acceleration. We're having some weird moments, a bit of chatter on the front end of the Boscoscura chassis. With the power setting on 3 now to the maximum, I don't see why we cannot get past Philip Salach and onto the brakes. Through on the Czech rider, downshifting to second, into the first turn, and we now have an advantage, and we have the objective claimed. This is it. We've got to keep it together, though. Maybe I did choose too many laps after all. I mean, Aldeguer had a 100% race to deal with. I've got 50%, so close enough, but I guess the competition for Aldeguer in real life was much difficult than the competition that's being faced here today. Good start, though, in this lap. Once we got past Salach, we really haven't seen him again, and we're already looking at 0.3 of a second. I remembered the AI was quite easy in this track, but I didn't remember it was this easy. They are really slow. If I recall, in my first Moto2 race, in the debut, we fought with Tony Arbolino for the victory, and then it got red flagged due to the rain coming out. It was at a later stage in the race. But as it stands, we are looking at improving the lap time here. We might actually catch up to Aaron Canet. Oh, a little bit deep there, so that has lost the lap time, and that has given Salach a chance to go back on through. Yep. Should have prepared for that, really. Got all confident and cocky, didn't I, thinking that we were going to catch up to Canet, and things are going wrong in the middle stages of today's race. This time we're going for the lunge on Philip Salach, and he goes around the outside. Fair play to Philip. He went in deep there, but he held it nicely. It's Manuel Gonzalez around the outside. That's terrific for the man who usually finishes 5th place. And onto the power then. And right behind him, we might be able to go through for a lunge into turn 1. On the brakes then, I'm going to have to go round the long way around to Philip Salach, aren't we? Look at that, round the outside. Beautifully done. Take a bow, Fermin Aldeguer. That was stunning. I've got to say, though, I am absolutely loving the Moto2 bikes again. I was contemplating a second season with Moto2. It really was before we moved up to MotoGP, and part of me wishes that we did that. So we're really late on the brakes. See, Aaron Canet is incredibly slow for the Tour VIP. Wonder if a challenge for the future could be that we take the other braking market into the Tour VIP, so they're very further down bottom part where World Superbike used to go. Maybe that's an idea. I'll definitely write that down. If there's any other track that has a different variant, we should possibly consider that, depending on the difficulty of the AI, but I'm sure we can manipulate around something. But onto the brakes, we're a little bit careful there, onto the anchors into turn 10. The corner named after the track, of course, Portimao, very similar to the Mazzano corner in Mazzano, no less, but with 4 laps to go now, we are closing in on Aaron Canet. I'm not even using power setting 3 yet, so this gives me great confidence to believe we can hold this position. I do know I'm weak in this final couple of corners, though. I don't exactly carry the speed of someone like Jose Antonio Rueda in Moto3. It was absolutely magnificent around these final couple of corners in the Portimao weekend just gone at the Portuguese GP, but this time we do a pretty good decent job, and across the line this will be a new fastest lap, and it is indeed the fastest lap of the race, a 1:42.601. What a time to do that. I've got to be honest, it looks like Aaron Canet's struggling. I know I've just set a terrific lap time there, but we have really caught him up quickly, and now we're already through going into the Lagos corner. I'm a little bit deep, so we might have a pop back, but no. The first time winner in Moto2, Aaron Canet, in real life, is not going to be replicating his performance here today. And I've got to say, I wonder if... No, maybe Maybe? I might be feeling a bit optimistic here, but part of me thinks that maybe I could have caught up Tony Arbolino if I didn't make those mistakes earlier on. Lap times haven't been too bad. They've been relatively consistent, but a couple of tenths dropped here and there. If we just kept that pace up, not making those mistakes. We made a mistake earlier into turn 11, of course, the fighting with Alex Escreege. Also, Alberto Reyes, he also gave me a hard time going into turn 4. So, to be honest, I think without those, maybe the gap would be around 3 seconds. But from here, I'm going to save the power setting 3 just in case I need it, because I do remember that the power, the fuel should I say, with power setting 3 reduces ever so quickly in Moto 2. It's quite astonishing how fast it actually reduces. My entire MotoGP 23 Moto 2 career mode is exactly because of that. And look at Aaron Canet. I mean, I didn't even have any words for that when he did that. That was absolutely stunning. But I'll use him as a bit of a battering ram to go around the outside. That's not going to work. That is absolutely not going to work. But I'm pretty confident in getting into turn 1. So onto the brakes then. Braking just before the white line and the TISO sign. We go through. But do we hold the line? Oh, we certainly do. I've got to say, this Moto 2 machine is absolutely perfect. Was that Tony Arbolino ahead of us then? Considering that's a 4.6 second gap, that looked significantly closer. But now we get onto the power. Yeah, it's actually a little bit misleading going into the Lagos corner. It seemed like he was closer than he actually was. But into the right-hand side. Tell you what, Fermin Aldeguer rides like this for the rest of the season. Count on him being your Moto 2 World Champion. I think a lot of people have already pegged him as the Moto 2 World Champion. Even if he's not had the best results so far. He certainly didn't in Qatar. But a 4th place after 2 long lap penalties? Yeah, you got to consider yourself as one of the best riders within the Moto 2 category. And of course, a Ducati seat guaranteed for next season. It's pretty much curtains anyway for Fermin. No matter what happens, he's going up to the top Premier class in Moto Grand Prix. 4.2 is the gap now to Tony Arbolino, and the gap to Aaron Canet is 1.5, so I would assume he's struggling. We are in another good lap here, but to take that much time away from the Portimao winner as Manuel Gonzalez has just dropped the front, is that turn 13 again? Certainly catches them off guard, doesn't it? Gotta say though, a couple of weeks removed now from MotoGP 24's release. Could we be looking at other AI doing long lap penalties? Could you be overtaking mid-long lap penalty? That would be something else, wouldn't it? Another solid lap time coming in there. It's another 1:42.6, so a little bit sporadic with the 1:42s, but once we get back into them, things feel good. Definitely would love to come back and do this video either, well, not again, but I do really want to use the Moto 2 bikes here in Portimao. I love Portimao. Do you know what? I absolutely adore the circuit. When I first started playing Moto 2, Moto 3, MotoGP, I wasn't a big fan of the circuit. I felt like maybe I'd used it a bit too much in Ride 4. As we go deep there into the Tour VIP, it's alright, we still got it. That was probably the additional power of power setting 3 just dragging me into that corner. Lost half a second on that exchange, but you can see the gap is coming down. It's too late now, but it's interesting to think about for next time, possibly. So on to the power then. Definitely would like to come back here to Portimao, but yeah, as I say, I've had a love-hate relationship with this track. I think it's a very difficult circuit, but once you get it right and that feeling of flowing and just gradually turning in and getting on the power, getting on the brakes, it's magnificent. And these Moto 2 bikes just add to the experience of enjoyment here in the Algarve. I am thoroughly enjoying this one, and I certainly hope you are too. This video has absolutely flown by for me. 11 laps completed already. We will complete our objective as well, which is even more special. But I can't help to think there could have been more. I was lucky as well, though, don't forget, Pedro Costa crashed. He crashed very early on. Was it the first lap he went down? Bo Benschneider and I think Ayagora also went down. So 2 of those are pretty big contenders for Moto 2. So I guess I was a little bit fortunate there. So maybe it's worthwhile to come back to this at some point. But we'll see. No doubt there will be more long lap penalties within MotoGP. So I'm sure we could try that out in the future. But anyway, 3.5 seconds is the gap to Tony Arbolino. We are far superior going into both turn 1 and the Tour VIP. So with those couple of corners and power setting 3, we could probably chip this lead down to 2 seconds. Maybe not 2 seconds, but within the 2 seconds gap as we go onto the brakes, losing the rear a little bit. Oh, we're off the track. Okay, my idea of getting that gap down is completely gone now. The problem I have is that changing over to power setting 3 just midway through a race, I find difficult then to get adjusted to and to start having that feeling again. It's so easy just to get comfortable with power setting 2, be quite aggressive with the throttle, and then change over to power setting 3 where your brake markers have to change. The fuel is lower as well, so everything's lighter, and it's a little bit more challenging for me. I'd rather stay on power setting 2, and you know what, I probably should have done for the rest of this race. But ladies and gentlemen, we will have completed the Fermin Aldeguer double long lap penalty challenge. You know what, I probably could have done 3, because judging at the gap with Canet, I would probably come out of the penalty now, which would put me just behind Aaron Canet and ahead of Philip Salach. Ladies and gentlemen, this video has been a success with Fermin Aldeguer with the 2 long lap penalties right here in Portimao. So guys, thanks for watching the video. I certainly hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know in the comment section down below. And if you want to see more videos like this with some more challenges, then definitely let me know in either here or my Discord server. Entirely up to you, whichever you fancy. Zonta van der Gerberg sets a fast lap of the race there. 142.5, that's incredible. Impressive job for Van der Gerberg. But yeah, that's it for me, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Ciao for now. Oh, hi. Didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.